Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 447 if you're a Mind Mastery member, or if you are a listener on the app or the podcast, this is episode 354. Now, in the previous episode, if you haven't seen it yet, it is a stress-free Christmas hypnosis session. That might be something that you may really want to get into over this festive, wonderful Christmas time, holiday time, whatever it is for you. It's going to help. It's going to allow you to just be more gentle, more powerful. And I hope that you've enjoyed my work up to date. I can't believe, right? We're like at 354 episodes. And most of them are like half hour each. So that's crazy, right? On average, anyway. I hope you're enjoying this free content. It's something that I enjoy doing. I don't always have time to do so, but it's something that I wish I could do more of to be able to support you. But I hope you are enjoying it, nevertheless. And as always, I intend to do more. I don't intend to quit doing the podcasting. I started podcasting right in the beginning days of podcasting, before there was so many, and it's so competitive now. It makes it kind of tricky to get it up there in the charts and help more people. But of course, your ratings, your reviews, your subscriptions on the iTunes podcast does do that. If not, we kind of get buried really deep. But either way, I hope you are enjoying my work. And today I want to talk to you about really the internal and the external world around us. Because what I've realized over time, over and over again, that because we perceive the world through our five senses, so through our eyes, through our ears, our touch, our smell, and our taste, we experience something so immediate, like the external world around us. It is just there. So if you have an issue, if you have a conflict of some sort, you will be triggered to have that experience of the conflict based on how you see the world around you, through those five senses, of course. So how you experience the world. Now, more often than not, the experience of the external world, or at least our relationship to it, will dictate how you show up. I mean, it's true, right? If you have a worry about trying to convince a client, a customer, you will be able to react in that stressful, overwhelmed, doubtful way. We are triggered by the external world around us, and that usually means that we are out of power. We're not in our power, we're not in our ownership, we're not in our domain that allows us to go through any situation, because we're always reactive beings. And we are reactive to the external world, from the debt, the relationships, the business, the career, the health, all those like areas of our life. We are triggered by those things, not because of the external world. I mean, the external world is just there. We're just a part of it. The experience, our environment is always going to be there, but we are triggered by it due to the internal conflicts or associations we have on the inside. In other words, if you have a limiting belief that you say to yourself, Joseph, I'm not worthy or good enough to be able to be financially abundant, to have the perfect health, relationship, to be able to have the perfect business where I get to just love my job or do what I love most of the time, because I feel I'm not worthy or good enough, then of course you are reacting to the external world in a way that is not good enough, as that perception is true for you. It could be about your values. So if you have a real high value for money, that could be something which it can be good. But if that high value for money is born from scarcity, maybe you were told that money's not grown on trees, or money is the root of evil, then you will have and show up that scarcity around money. Or if you've had a bad relationship in the past, so someone may have did something to you, hurt you, disrespected you, and they crossed those values, you may make a decision that the next relationship is just going to be more of the same, more of the betrayal, the cheating, the abuse, and all those things, because we have decided based on our past experience. So it becomes this loop. from the internal to the external world, the internal universe of you to the external universe of where we are right now. And it is just back and forth. You are reacting to the external all the time. So maybe you see something right now in this festive season. You say, I really want this, Joseph, but my present reality is saying I do not have enough money, or I do not have the right bank account, or I do not have the right resources to make that decision right now. Now, that decision was ultimately made based on your past decisions. So in other words, the things that you've been through in the world have caused you to come to this point. And usually, as I said, we have been reacting to the world in such an unconscious way that we've been hypnotized by the past events that causes us to feel disempowered, to show up in the world in a way which is through scarcity or doubt, worry and fear of never being enough or being good enough or whatever it is for you, right? We are showing up based on our past decisions. Now, I'm not saying that you've consciously decided to be in this position you are in right now if life is not how you want it to be, but unconsciously, we have been reactive to our environment to this point in time. Whether it be because of that past relationship, we made that unconscious decision. Maybe because our mom and dad said maybe money's not grown on trees or it's the root of all evil. Unconsciously, you accepted that belief to be true. Unconsciously, we are reacting to the world around us. And that is the issue. That we are showing up to the world not only based on our past negative, significant emotional events or our past wounds, but we are continuing to breathe life into that cycle of despair, worry, doubt, and all those things. But how can we shift our attention, our focus onto something different? You see, if you focus through the five senses solely based on the external world and what the external world is showing up and how you evaluate the external world based on your past experience, beliefs, values, the decisions you've made, all those things, then it's going to be an issue. It will always remain an issue. But I remember listening a long time ago, and I think I've mentioned it before, that this really crazy cool business person said when the economy was crashing, they said they're not going to buy into it. They'll find a way to be abundant still. They will look for ways where their business will be safe, secure, and evolve and adapt regardless of the economy. And someone else said, I can't quite remember who said this, but when the mindset's right, the facts don't count. Once again, it is saying that if the facts on the external world are saying something, if you get your mindset right, it doesn't matter about the external world. But as we are going through this time, as technology is increasing, our procrastination is dramatically increasing, where you are spending too much time probably on social media or looking for that next Netflix movie you want to watch, and it just kind of gets worse and worse. Funny enough, I got an email from Netflix just that second saying what's available. And when you're just trying to look for that thing that you want to watch, time passes, but it feels like it's quickening. We seem to be losing touch and feeling like we're going backwards and just being reactive to the world and never fully catching up. And worse, we're not actually creating what we want. And that's what I really want to talk about. We can either react or we can either create. But how do we stop that cycle? Now, if you're not doing this already, you are probably going to be losing money. You're going to be losing or not having the best type of relationships, or like losing the opportunity of a relationship. Your health won't be exactly to the most profound way it should be. Your connection with yourself and the world around you in a way of personal development, spirituality is not going to be serving you, and in fact can create more issues if you do not detach from your environment throughout the day. Now, it doesn't have to take time, but I know that when I use my own personal strategy, my own strategy in the morning that causes me to get my mind in total alignment, my goals will absolutely come true that day. My health in the optimum space starting off in the morning, my whole life transforms throughout that day. Rather being reactive, rather being a product of my day, I start to come from the place of projection, where I'm radiating what I want most, and because of that frequency, my mindset is seeking more of the same. If we're focusing on the reactive mindset, you are feeding the reaction. You are feeding that spiral out of control. But you can shift it when you start to plan things right. Now, I'm not going to go into my full strategy because it is a whole big video for Mind Mastery members, like how they can automatically get things what they want. However, what I do want to give you today is the wake-up call, the epiphany, that if you do not detach from the world, from that reactive mindset, and instead realize that above your environment is really the mindset or the game plan that you have. You see, if you live in the environment, you react to the environment. If you tap into your mindset to start the day out right, or throughout the day, whatever it is for you, there is a right way of doing this. But whatever is right for you personally, you will not be able to experience what you want. You have to carve out time to make time. Sometimes we feel like we haven't got enough time to be able to do these things. But in fact, when you carve out the right amount of time, and I don't really mind if you've got 3 kids and you're a single parent, you got a full-time job, there is always time to be able to carve out of your day, which will allow you to gain more time back, will allow you to experience more time and show up in the world from power. So what I want you to do, my challenge for you, is as the episode before, 2 episodes back, was to be able to drive the wedge between our pain and pleasure so we're not living in no man's land. You know, the number 7 one, to exclude number 7. If you haven't listened to that, go ahead and listen to it. It's a real game changer. It's episode 352, and it's called 2017 Without 7. If you listen to that, we've derived the difference so we're not living in no man's land, but then we have to be able to carve out enough time to reflect on what we really want from the day. If you're not saying what you want, if your mindset's not right as you start off out in the day, then the day will dictate your state. So you can either choose to create your state, or the world will create it for you. Now for me, I don't want anyone creating my state. I don't want someone to, or my mindset to be, he or she made me feel bad. He or she or the economy or the world, the society is causing me to feel this way, where I have no opportunity. I just don't want to live on that side of the equation. I don't want to be in effect. I want to be the creator of my life, the decider of my life, but it starts with setting out your day right. So my ideal for you, you do this every day. But I can't make you do anything, but that is my ideal, because I know when I do it, it just works. So I do it all the time, right? You just keep on doing what works. And sometimes when I don't, I'm like, why did I stop that? My day goes perfectly. I get more money, more change, more purpose, more helping people if I kind of set things up right. So it's kind of one of those weird things. You forget how important it is. Sometimes you may even notice with a hypnosis session, like, oh, the hypnosis is great. I'm feeling really good and I'm really, really good. And I stop using some hypnosis. And then you're like, my life's not so good anymore. And you go, well, why don't we just get back to the hypnosis? I mean, of course, I want you to ultimately get off the hypnosis because I don't want you to have to rely on it, but if you haven't got the right strategy, you have to have that as your support network to get to where you want to be on a consistent basis. But that's a different story when it comes to change work. That's where you probably need more expertise. But I want you to carve out time in your day to be able to experience what you want. Imagine waking up where you have the mindset that life is good. Good things are coming your way. You are full of gratitude. You have the step-by-step strategy, the things you're going to be doing today that if you achieve will allow you to experience the ultimate satisfaction. Your mind and body will be aligned to the exact result. But if you do not, your mind will spiral out of control. You will react to those people, those things, and it will cause you to go the other way. And we don't want that. So make this a time right now to get your mindset right. So whatever the environment, it doesn't matter. You start to change and create that you focus more time on the internal world of you before you step out into the external world, the environment. Make a choice, a decision, that you can be the creator of what you want, that you can tune in, tap in, and turn on the most fundamental success strategy that will cause you to live an unlimited and emotionally free of conflict life, where you feel like you're just stepping up each and every day. We all have that opportunity. We all have the time. You may not feel like it, but you do have that. But you have to make that decision in a way that's going to support you. So that's what I really want to get across today, that you can either go down the line where life is a way that you react to, that you buy into the same old decisions, the same old limiting beliefs, the same old ways of being, and then you just keep on trying to catch up, or you take a stand, you take a moment, you take some time out to cultivate your mind, your body before you step out into the external world, before you get into your job, before you start interacting with your partner maybe. I mean, that's okay, of course, but depending what time people get up. If you get up early, then you definitely should be doing this before you interact with your partner. Or going to work, seeing your boss, doing the chores. You have to set up your mind right to get the right success and results. So, have the most wonderful day, my most wonderful friends. I just want you to succeed and fulfill your dreams in the most profound way that becomes, in a way that makes it on autopilot. I mean, why go through the stress? Why go through the struggle when there is a quicker way to just program your unconscious mind? It starts with you, but once you instigate it, once you set up the right system, you will start to feel that automation. I mean, we think about businesses these days, we think about even the computer world, the technology, everything is going through automation. It would be another episode, actually, I think, for this one. The automation is the way of the future. The robots are coming, the machines are coming, and they're going to be doing more things on our behalf. Now, imagine if you could just automate your unconscious mind. Not that I believe it's a machine, but it's something which we can program to work on our behalf to be able to get what we want when we want it in the most easy and most efficient way possible. That is my goal for you, and especially those who personally work with me. But even if you're just listening to this right now, have that as your goal. I mean, to be honest, I can't help everyone on one-to-one level. I can't help everyone on a group level. So I just want you to succeed. So carve out that time, my friend, and let's go ahead and make 2008 the most brilliant, most profound year that allows you to realize you're worthy, you're enough, and whatever you think you are always more. For you are, my friend. So have a most wonderful day, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon on a future episode. If you're enjoying the free content, if you've got value from this content, please go ahead, review the app and the podcast on the app on your relevant app store, Android or the Apple iTunes one. But absolutely, if you can jump onto the podcast on iTunes and you just type in my name, rate, review, and subscribe, it means more people will experience the kind of change that they want. I didn't create all these free episodes for the few. I created it for the many. Sadly, that is not always going to be able to happen because of how the algorithms are. It was a decision I had to make to be able to give you something through the app. I had to get back on the lack of the podcast stats, which means we're actually leaving a lot of transformation out for a lot of people. But the way we can get that back is by subscribing on the podcast and also rating and review on the podcast. Go ahead and do that, my friend, because it just means we can help more people together. Be a part of something. There's something that I want you to realize very quickly, because I get emails every day saying how they found the podcast in the middle of the night when they're on the edge and they just felt depressed and they didn't have a way out other than the one way out. Now, I want you to know, for those who have rated, reviewed, and subscribed, I want to thank you for saving that person, because they didn't just go onto the podcast and start playing. They would have looked at the reviews. So I want to thank you. I'm so much full of gratitude for you, because you were a part of saving someone's life. You were the person who caused them to be able to let go of the fear, the worry, depression, the anxiety. You are the person who did that. For that, whoever rated and reviewed and subscribed to the podcast or the app itself, you're the one who did this. So feel so good about that. And like I said, if you haven't done that already, please go ahead and do so, because you're just one subscription to the free podcast, rating and review on both the podcast and app from actually helping someone who really needs it. This is free. You do not have to buy anything in the app. Just listen to all the 350 or so episodes and just get as much as you want. So have a most wonderful day, my friend, and I'll speak to you very soon. Many thanks and goodbye.